Well, 24, as you know, is a show that was brought by Anil Kapoor because the original is from the US. So it was very exciting when we found out, Indian Americans as well as people in India, that there is a new show, 24, coming out, because I think what it does is it changes the face of soap operas in India, and a lot of people watch soap operas, even here and across the world, Indian ones. So my involvement actually started when I've been in India for quite some time, auditioning, finding different roles, and although the trajectory of my work was going very well, I wanted to do something a little more with a good magnitude of work on television. When 24 came along, I auditioned for it, and luckily I was chosen as the assassin Meher. And Abhinay Deo, who is the director of this wonderful series, he really saw me and put faith in me that yes, I could, if I could show that in the auditions that I have a spark of the assassin, then maybe I can pull it off on television too. So I got involved with it because Abhinay Deo, during my audition, placed faith in my character, my acting. I was in contact with him because initially when everyone is casted, we get to meet each other, so we understand what the entire look of the show would be. So when I met Mr. Anil Kapoor, it was a dream come true because I grew up watching his movies. And although I do not have a scene with him in the series as of yet, then seeing him in person, just interacting with him was so wonderful. He's a down-to-earth guy and he has such great energy. And luckily, when I went up to him and said I really admire his work, he really gave me a very sweet-hearted smile and said thank you so much. And it really brought really a lot of happiness to an aspiring actor and the little girl in me who grew up watching his movies. Well, that's a very long story actually, because I didn't just jump into going into Bombay. It was a big decision in my life, but the thing is that I started off here in Virginia and in the DC metropolitan area with my performing arts. I grew up here all my life. I was attending India International School, which is a school for performing arts and languages, very involved with the Indian culture. And I learned my Indian classical dance from Guru Saikanta Raparlaji. She hails from Andhra Pradesh, but she's also based here and has taught many dancers. So I got a chance to learn Kuchipudi from her, and because of her instilling that dancing in me, I was able to gain confidence to go on many different levels and many different stages. So through my dance, I learned how to get on television. Here I hosted a few shows. I went on stage, hosted live shows, and it brought a new level of, I wanted to achieve more, so I got into even pageantry. And as pageantry happened, I did the Miss America pageant. It was a scholarship pageant, and I got to win the Virginia stage. So that was really great. Even went on to the nationals, won the nationals, and there are a series of Miss America pageants that happen in the East Coast and West Coast, across the nation, in fact. So to be involved with American pageants gave me a little bit of, I guess, faith, and I wanted to take that leap of faith to go into the Indian pageantry side, and I tried for Miss India DC, achieved that level, and went on to Miss USA, Miss India USA. And when I won that brought me to the Miss India Worldwide stage. Miss India Worldwide is the biggest pageant outside of India for Indian American girls or Indian British girls, Indian Australian girls. And we each represent our country. And we're all Indian girls who love our culture, are immersed in it, and respect it so much that, it was so nice when I met a range of girls, different ages, and different talents. So Miss India Worldwide took place in Durban, South Africa in 2009. And I remember this very clearly, that it was February 14th, Valentine's Day, when I won the Miss India Worldwide crown. And it was my Valentine's Day gift. So Miss India Worldwide, once I won that, I continued my education at Northwestern University, but then I decided to audition for a show called Dance India Dance, which many people, with God's grace, have watched across the world, and it's very big on ZTV in India as well. And once I took part in the auditioning from US, then I was sent to Bombay to audition in front of the three main judges, which is Geeta Kapoorji, Remo D'Souza, and Terrence Lewis. And these three are, icons of dance in India and in the Indian film industry. So I got a chance to perform in front of them, and I got through the Dance India Dance audition, and that journey took me to living in India for 6 months and really facing what Indian mentality, Indian, not just Indian culture, but just how Indian life is. So living in Bombay for those 6 months during that show really showed me that this is the side of the industry that I can join if I choose to move to India. I came back after DID. I was eliminated at 10th place. I was in the top 10, and at 10th place I was eliminated. Came back to the US to complete my studies, and then I decided to go back to India because Dance India Dance showed me a very, it was a life that I wanted to try out. And definitely the fact that because I was so immersed in Bollywood and Indian culture, that I really wanted to make a mark in the Indian industry. So my entry that way happened, that after Dance India Dance, I came back to US, did my studies, and was part of an Indian American independent film called 9/11. And after that film also finished, the shooting for that was done, and a little bit of publicity had happened here, I gained the courage to actually halter my studies for the 1 year that was left, and I came to India and started auditioning. And it was a complete turn of events in my life, but I'm very happy that it happened. Language for me has been a bit of a challenge, but in a good way, because the thing is that while I was growing up, I attended India International School and learned Hindi by Madhu Maheshwari ji. She was my teacher, she was my guru in Hindi, and she taught me to speak it properly. So although she took those, she whipped me into shape with my Hindi, it actually helped me down the road so much. And when I received my main part in Manan Katora's 9/11, it was actually kind of a breakthrough experience for me, because that was when I was able to do Hindi in a full feature film. And although I also have done plays here in English, such as Natya Bharati's plays and Pravasi Kala Manch's plays, those two groups are actually quite well known here in Washington, D.C. for plays. So I was part of that as well. I brushed up my Hindi there. I was learning from Madhu Maheshwari ji. I brushed up my Hindi there. I was part of 9/11, which also really helped me brushed up my Hindi in a feature film. And eventually when that gave me the confidence to go to India and try things out, the audition phase is that you try your best. And when I was in India auditioning for many different roles, my Indian accent or my American accent kind of helped me, in fact. And I was able to even change my voice on many occasions when the director wanted it to be. I was casted for a role in Preeti Zinta's Ishq in Paris, and that was the next feature film where I had a role in Hindi. But I had to really, fix up my accents. And even in 24, in fact, Abhinay Deo really, he told me that yes, we need a little bit of that sexy, modern, American, or international looking type of accent, sounding accent, but try to be as Indian as you can be. And the thing is that directors in all these projects that I've worked on have put faith in me to fix up my Hindi, brush it up, and there's always someone on set to be like, these are the words that you need to focus on, and this is how it should sound. So thankfully, because of their involvement, I was able to perform my Hindi properly. And of course, there are some Shuddh Hindi words that I have a little bit of trouble with. Even during auditions, they don't expect you to get everything 100% right. If that was the case, then all of us would be stars and we'd be all 100% stars. But we all try our best. And my Hindi was able to impress some people. And sometimes I really messed up, but it was still able to make at least someone laugh. I am a Sikh girl, so I do know Punjabi very well. My Punjabi is also, again, not Thet Punjabi, lekin I'm able to understand them and, say it right back to the director the way they want it to be said. So being a Punjabi girl, I grew up with Bhangra music, with Punjabi lyrics. So I was able to, when I had to audition for Punjabi things, I was able to pull it off, and they were impressed that an Indian American girl was, able to do Hindi and Punjabi. So it was like a good mixture that I am, I feel, like of East and West. They meet in Bombay, and that's me. Yes, of course. Kingfisher Calendar Hunt is a show for models. It's actually a show for models. And modeling is something that of course, I've trekked in that field. I've done photo shoots and I've done many different kinds of photo shoots with different concepts, but to be on television for it and to be judged on television by Lisa Hayden, who is the top model in India right now and perhaps across the world as well, one of the most respected models, to be judged by her was kind of a boon, because even as a model, as a performer who wants to go into modeling and wants to try different aspects of the entertainment industry, to receive her criticism, constructive criticism, it really helps you become better. And Kingfisher Calendar Hunt, I actually never expected that I would get so far in that. I actually ended up placing first runner-up in the show. And I was competing against models who were established in the industry. So coming from America and trying out a show in India against models who were established in Bombay was kind of overwhelming, but when I did try it, I put my heart and soul into it. And as you know, Sid Malia was also a host and a judge on the show, and there were guest judges as well. So Atul Kazbekar and, you know, they all came and they judged us so fairly and so nicely that I learned so much from it. And placing first runner-up was like the icing on the cake, and it's taken my modeling life much more forward. It's very kind of you to ask this question. I think I myself receive a lot of advice from people I love and people who have been there, done that, and have succeeded. So they give me advice, and I am not entirely, you know, I'm not at that level where I can be like A, B, C are the, you know, these are the things that you should follow, but what from my heart and from my experience I can definitely say to aspiring actors and dancers, and just in general the Indian American kids out there who are my age and, you know, much younger and still, you know, aspiring to be something, it's all about hard work. And I always see life as a stepping stone. You don't see where you're going next, but once you step on that stone, you can see the next stone, and you keep on going. So if you work hard and focus, you can definitely achieve what you want. And along the way, respect your parents. A message for family, friends, and loved ones, and my fans. I want to thank them from the bottom of my heart for really following through with watching me. Their unwavering support, your unwavering support has been so encouraging to me. From my parents to my brother to people I just, you know, go to the mall and they recognize me. It makes me feel so good, because I have in fact ventured out all the way from Virginia to Bombay and back and forth, gone to different states and performed, and there's no bigger reward than the respect you get for the work that you love. So I really thank all of you from the bottom of my heart for really showing me that yes, I can keep on believing in myself and I can keep on doing the work that I love. Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you again for coming in.
Thank you so much.